Mother Christophora is the abbess of the Monastery of the Transfiguration in Ellwood City, Pennsylvania. She's been abbess there for over 30 years. I was really glad for the opportunity to interview a monastic abbess, and I'm really grateful to Mother Christophora for her generosity. So I hope you'll enjoy this episode from my interview with Mother Christophora.
You're asking about the mission of monasticism in the United States, whether it's unique. I would have some reflection on that. I recently had a pilgrimage to Ukraine, and we spent our time in monasteries. And in the past, in the 90s, I also visited Romania and Greece. And those are all Orthodox countries. And my experience there is that people do very much visit monasteries, frequent them throughout the day, on weekends, but also on work days. But the people coming there tend to be focused on whatever it is they're coming to pray about. They seem to buy a candle, go in church, light the candle, say a prayer, perhaps attend a service. Very often they don't. They just stay for a few minutes, and then they leave. So the nuns there really have to be very present, in the sense that someone is always in the church, either a monk or a nun. In what I experienced was always in the church throughout the day, no matter if there was a service going on or not. But they were there to sell the candles, to take the prayer list. People want to leave lists of names of people to pray for, answer any questions they might have. But usually my sense is that the people coming really didn't have questions for the monastics. They kind of knew what a monastery was. They knew that's where you go and you pray, you say a prayer, you buy a candle, you leave a prayer list. We even asked a little bit about that of the nuns in Ukraine, or they were asking about our life, I should say. And for us here in America, we really find that we are missionaries. When people come to our monastery, and I suspect others as well, American people, they have a lot of questions for the nuns, and they really want to spend time with us. They're hoping not to spend every minute of the day, but they're usually hoping during their time at the monastery, if they're spending a couple of days, that they would have a conversation at least once with a monk or a nun, or maybe more than one. They often want to tell us their burden. They often want to ask our prayers, perhaps sometimes ask advice, or just ask general questions about the spiritual life. This is where they come in America. They really come demanding quite a bit from the monks and nuns. So I think that the unique mission in this country would be that we are missionaries, that we have the whole day long, as we're with people, to educate them, to be prepared to answer any questions they have, or to give an explanation, or to make some conversation of a spiritual matter that happens not only in the monastery, but also when we go out. We wear the monastic habit all the time. So when we're in the society, if we have to go to the store or the doctor's office or the airport, people recognize us, or hopefully they recognize us as Christians, as Christian monastics. Some of them don't. They ask who we are, what we do, or why we're dressed this way. So you see, again, they approach us. Now in an Orthodox country, if they saw a monk or a nun, people know who they are and what they do, and they might go and over to them physically to ask for their blessing. But in this country, that's less likely to happen. Few people ask my blessing as an abbess when I'm out in public, because it's not an Orthodox country. But many people approach any of us sisters when we're out and ask questions. Who are you? What do you do? What is orthodoxy? where do you live? Is it a monastery for monks? All these kinds of questions. So we're constantly need to be prepared to answer any of those questions. So I think that would be the unique mission. I'm sure that there are many others, again, helping to nurture families. As I mentioned earlier, many families come to us. And I think another mission would be, because in America the family has suffered a great breakdown and great tragedy. So hopefully when people come to a monastery, they see women living together as a family, as a spiritual family, and hopefully they would take be able to receive some modeling there of people that live in love and forgiveness and perseverance, because one of the vows we take as monastics is to persevere. It's called stability, but that means stick it out, stay where you are, stay where you're planted, and live here and grow here, and eventually die here and be buried here. So that's a witness. That's another witness that we have as monastics in America, that we show that people do persevere. They try not to give up when things get difficult. Things will get difficult.
Hi again. I hope you enjoyed this episode from my interview with Mother Christophora. Please subscribe to get notified when new videos become available, which happens every Friday. And also, if you would, please leave a comment in the comment section below, letting me know what you thought of this video. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.